Hello everyone, how you doing? Are you still smiling? I'm still smiling, as you can tell. I'm actually trying to not smile for this video because it'd be a bit creepy if I just sat and grinned at you for the next 10 minutes or so, wouldn't it? So I'm trying to rein the smiling back, but I can't help it. I've been really happy today because of that win last night at West Ham 3, Chelsea 2. I'm still amazed by the performance, never mind the result, the actual performance as well. Really, really happy. I couldn't sleep last night. I mean, I went to my bed, I don't know, 12:30 or something. I was up till midnight or so doing videos with Gonzo. I don't know, a good hour or so went by and I was just tossing and turning. I just had too much excitement in me. Anyway, hopefully you're feeling good. This video, oh well, hang on a minute, bonus video at the end of this video, if that makes sense. You want a bit more Gio in your life tonight or tomorrow? I mean, why not? A little bit more Gio. It's more West Ham content. It's a video that's not on the channel. I'll explain more at the end of the video. If you want to know more now and you don't want to watch this one, just skip to the end. It's all there, it's at the end. Anyway, this video is about why I think the win last night was important for West Ham fans. But before I do that, I remember a couple of weeks ago I did that video about why Jeremy Ngakia are leaving is actually bad for Ryan Fredericks. And the purpose, well, not the purpose of it, the point in that video was sometimes I have a voice in the long-haired head of Gio, and I sometimes struggle to get from here out here to you guys. And I did that video and people in it said, yeah, I completely understood what you're trying to say. So I'm hoping you're going to completely understand what I'm trying to say here, but it's a bit of a disclaimer. It could be a bit of a random video with lots of different tangents, but I'll do my best. But anyway, lockdown. It's a bit before lockdown, but in particular, lockdown was when I started to worry a little bit about some fans. No one in particular, just the general mood, because I felt a lot of people were not falling out of love with West Ham, but falling out of the love of attending West Ham games, if you like, and they were ready to walk away and not renew their season ticket next season. There's various reasons for that. They might not like the board, the managers, Pellegrini and or Moyes, the attitude of the players, the seasons in general, and also the seasons prior to it in terms of the atmosphere and direction of the club. The modern day Premier League, a lot of people just don't like it because of that. The stadium's a big thing. People just don't enjoy going to that stadium for whatever reason. It's not necessarily my thing. I've got one thing attached to that, which I'll cover in a second. But I just felt that the Premier League returning without fans, behind closed doors, and while it was still unsafe, which still is, but it was even more unsafe when Project Restart was being touted, I felt a lot of fans were saying, hang on a minute, if this comes back, this is too far, because it really is all about wealth. And the behind closed doors things, you know, I've seen a lot of fans saying football is for fans, so without fans you can't have football. But if you're going to have football without us, well, I'm not going back then, because clearly you don't need us there. And I completely understand why people think like that. But it's not nice to read as a West Ham fan. So, you know, the West Ham fans saying that was it and they weren't renewing their ticket or whatever. It's not always that good. But the one good thing for me, actually, and this maybe will give you a little insight into what I'm trying to say, the win last night, for the first time since we moved, made me miss the London Stadium. I've always missed, even after like a weekend or two, I've missed attending the match day experience. So I've missed my friends, I've missed going for a drink with them, going to football with them and all that stuff. I've missed the day, but I've not necessarily missed attending a West Ham fixture at that particular ground, if that makes sense. I don't dislike the stadium for what it's worth. I don't like it either. I'm just neutral to it. I used to dislike it, but I've just got used to everything. I don't notice the scaffolding and all that anymore. I just don't notice it. It doesn't bother me. So I'm very plain. But last night, I'll tell you something. After the game, late on or this morning, I was wishing, not just I was wishing I was there, I was actually wishing I was there at the London Stadium, because when that place is good, it is good. It's not very often it's good, and when it's always good or bad. There's almost like no okay, if that makes sense. But I've had some good games there, and sometimes I come out thinking that was an enjoyable match to watch, and the atmosphere was really good. But the atmosphere last night would have been amazing at that place, scoring the 90th minute and stuff, and also not just that, it's just the way the game unfolded when we scored just before half-time. We took the 2-1 lead and stuff. That would have been a real good atmosphere last night. And I missed the London Stadium. And I would almost say, like, I almost need that. I need to miss the London Stadium. I want to miss the London Stadium because, you know, I didn't want to move in the first place. I don't particularly agree with the move per se, but it's there, isn't it? You know, so I've just... Anyway, but in terms of the general fan base, like I said, I felt a lot of people were falling out of love with attending games. And last night's win, I just feel there's been a massive change of atmosphere and attitude and positivity on the timeline. And it is tied into win, but it's also just, I feel like we've got a reminder from the West Ham players, if you like, that they still care, that they did all fight for each other. Because if you go watch our equaliser, the goal that did count that Souček scored, you watch Bowen celebrate, there's a couple of pictures come out today on social media of, you can see the bench, it's of Yarmolenko, but you can see the bench in the distance. And when Yarmolenko scored, they're all, Felipe Anderson's on his feet celebrating, Lanzini's on his feet, you've got Alfie Lewis looking, he's grinning like a little boy, and you can see all the staff like Hugo and all that are proper fist pumping and hugging and stuff. You can see the happiness, the joy. Jared Bowen was there as well, standing up, cheering, and I just thought, this is good. This is what we need. And it was weird actually, because normally you're all together in the ground, aren't you? But last night it just felt like everybody was all together on social media, and it's not going to be popular because it's like a modern day concept, but it was almost like we were all celebrating together on social media the win, and it's continued on to today and stuff, and it's just a real buzz now. Just, it's amazing what one win can do, isn't it? But I do think it's also the performance, the scoreline, the fact it was against Chelsea. I would even say it's also sort of like the fact that we are fighting relegation. You know, when I did a video a few weeks ago, I said to Gonzo that my worst season, believe it or not, as a fan, is when we had Kirbishley and we finished 10th. And I just found it boring. Well, there was nothing there. We weren't playing for anything. We weren't fighting against anything. It was just a bit blue, but very vanilla. And I'm not saying I want to be in a relegation battle, but at least we've got something. Do you know what I mean? We're getting up, we're worrying, and that's what football is. Football's a passion. You're buying into emotions. Essentially, football does trigger literally everything in your body. I mean, crikey, last night, when we made it 1-0 the first time, I say the first time, when we scored to make it 1-0 and got chalked off, I was ecstatic. I was up celebrating. It got chalked out. I was raging. I was angry. Diop concedes the penalty. I'm disappointed, worried now. And then we've gone and scored the equaliser. I'm happy again. I went through every emotion possible in the space of about 15 minutes or something. It was just ridiculous. But that's what football is. It's about triggering all that. And sometimes it's difficult when you're sat at home on your couch. It's difficult to really have that in you because it's not quite the same as being at the game, let's face it. It's not. It just isn't. And this isn't anything anti people that don't go, because crying out loud, I can assure you, I do not go to most of the games. I don't even go to half the games. I go to as many as I can, as feasible, but when I live in Aberdeen, it's not that easy. But there is a big difference. But I just felt last night, felt a bit different. And I just think that win, that type of win, is maybe what some of the West Ham fans needed, just to sort of like, it feels like they've been drifting away, whether it's from the club or it's from the Premier League in general, but it's tied into the club because you support West Ham. They've been drifting away. It just feels like that win's maybe just fucking suck them all back into it, suck them back in there. There is a lot of people that won't allow that because they've already made up their mind. Again, I understand. There is a lot of people, I think, that were in the middle. They were unsure. Are you going to renew? I'm not sure. Maybe I've taken the money out. Maybe I've left it in as club cash. But I'm not sure if I'm going to renew. I just think that type of win last night, it's not just that, it's the reminder, isn't it? It's a reminder that you do love West Ham. I remember the last time I had this feeling, actually, was away to Southampton, because before we played Southampton, we were in terrible form. People really unhappy. People wanted Pellegrini sacked. We went down to Southampton. We weren't expecting too much. And we clung on. You know, we were winning. We were clinging on. And the noise of the away end, I was fortunate to be there that day because Bez lives in Southampton. So I went down to see Bez and we went. And the noise in that place, and, you know, everyone has sore throats after and stuff. And I just felt like everybody that day, that game, got a reminder. You do love West Ham and stuff. And I just thought we got that reminder last night. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Anyway, bonus video. Do you want the bonus video? Right. If you don't want the bonus video, now's the time for you to disappear. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. subscribing you around here. I'll be back tomorrow night with Gonzo at 8:30, where we'll be looking ahead to the Newcastle fixture. Right, bonus video time. As you know, we've got the Patreon thing, right? And we don't, believe it or not, we don't really like keep repeating it, but the reason we repeat it a lot at the start of the month is because it's the best time to get it. You get charged when you sign up, and then on the 1st of the month. So now it's the 2nd, so you've missed yesterday's charge, if you like. So it's the best time to enjoy it. Also, we've just got so much videos in the month of July. We've got so much. We do about 3 or 4 per game. We've got player ratings, a morning video, opposition view. So we've got 3 videos per game. We've got a Patreon podcast. There's a different type of video I'm forgetting, I'm sure, but it's all over there. The bonus videos are going to be on your screen in a second. It's for patrons only, but because it's not part of their bundle, you guys can watch as well if you want. All you have to do is click the link, and it's a completely different video. It's just me chatting something similar to this about last night's game. And if you've enjoyed it and you consider it, then you can join the Patreon and help support Hammer Chat. It's very much appreciated, and we will shut up about it soon, I can promise you. But we just think it's fantastic value at the minute. When we first started it, it was a concept, but now I'm actually proud. I'm proud of the content we're creating, and myself, Gonzo, Charlie, Tom, Ray, what we're all doing on the Patreon thing for the patrons. I'm proud of it, and I do think it is, hand on heart, I do genuinely think it's really good value. So that's why I'm happy to sit here, and that heater is going to cause me problems one day. That was close. A little clunk. I don't know if that picked it up, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. Anyway, bonus video coming up on your screen if you fancy it. Catch you in a bit.